Hello everyone, this is my teardrop trailer build, custom built. This fits in 2 parking spaces when you jackknife it. It's got a kitchen in the back, plenty of room for everything you'd need, water, cooler, full-size cooler. The hatch is made out of steel. Side, as you saw there, where there were large drawers. I used a large RV door. Son was able to sleep in a hammock across us. We had a queen size bed inside, and then a little spot off to the side. It's an 8 foot by 5 foot. It's got a one piece aluminum top, except of course where the hinge is. It's a 16th inch thick aircraft grade aluminum. Birch skin plywood on the sides, LED tail lights, 16th inch aluminum diamond plate. The 2 drawers underneath, if you continue to look, the 2 drawers underneath, one on the left is 89 inches long by about 20 inches wide, and the right is about 50 something inches long, where it goes up to the location where you see that cutout where the door is. I wanted to be able to get in without crawling in. I also wanted a place to be able to store my shoes where bugs and rain and other stuff doesn't get in there. But I didn't want my shoes on top where my mattress was. So that's why you see that little cutout area. I redid a small 4x6 utility trailer that has a welded 37 Plymouth front end on. It's a great trailer. I've towed it thousands of miles. So I decided to use that frame. I made a 5 foot by 8 foot perfectly square, plumb, straight, level steel frame. Welded it all together, piece by piece, plumb, square, and level. And then I decided to do birch skin plywood and let that actually overlap the frame where it sets on. That way any water that sheds is going to shed off of it and not into it. So I did bed those pieces of plywood into the side with clear silicone. So there's definitely no way there's going to be any leaks, any bugs inside. I got this idea from another guy on a forum where you actually, instead of framing, you actually cut out the areas you're going to put insulation. And as you see on the top there, those little pieces of the little top pieces, I used a table saw sled and made little kerf cuts, and then I glued and stapled it all the way to the side so I'd have an area to frame on. I used an 1/8 inch or 3/16 inch underlayment plywood. I really like the look of it, even though it's just underlayment. I used pocket screws in a lot of different areas to make this thing really solid. There you see the framing where I used pocket screws to frame from side to side. That's the spot for the vent. Ran the wires. All the wiring is ran. Everything is done really nice. That's 1 inch thick, 1 inch thick insulation, and then I'd put another piece on top so that way the aluminum wouldn't actually contact the insulation. Put in there nice and tight, all sealed up. And then I did the inside with 1/4 inch tongue and groove pine before I set the windows inside. Everything is brand new plywood, 3/4 inch cabinet grade. I also did poplar trim for the little back cabinets. This is where I'm installing that aircraft grade aluminum. Used a router to do the flush end, and then I used the professional trim. Each trim piece is $115 a piece, and bedded that or set that down with that butyl tape stuff, the real sticky, gooey stuff. I used a router to do the side panels. Real pain in the butt because it gums up the router because the stuff is kind of soft. As you can see, I had to chip out little parts in there, but for all in all, it worked out pretty good. Then I ended up using a nibbler. That is the best thing since sliced bread. So buy one of those. You will never regret it. It can do anything with a drill. So, but I took my sweet time. I did the nicest job I could think of in any sheet metal work in a professional aircraft shop. With brakes and everything. Those are storage compartments in the front. Everything that is held together by stainless 832 or 8/32 screws, or number 832 threads per inch. That's all also wrapped in, the front area is also wrapped in insulation. I made a little jig so I can finish the 2-foot radius contour for the plywood so I can make that front hatch, also attached with many different screws and pocket screws. fully insulated. I think that one ended up being about 2 inches or 2¼ inches of insulation. Put rubber underneath the hinge, so there's no way that moisture can get in there. And then I even bedded you see this stuff splooging out, the silicone. I bedded everything in there. I went so far overkill on making sure everything was sealed and that thing can really handle it well. I offset the screws. I wouldn't attach or have one screw hit another screw. I extended the tongue with receiver hitch and then made it longer so it doesn't jackknife so easy, and also made this out of steel, the frame, because it was the lightest and yet the less cumbersome, least cumbersome way to do it. You can see where I double sealed, overlapped the setup there, and then I waited to do the last screws until the very, very end. Everything is lapping, and if you ever need to put in taillights into aluminum, I just put a screw in there with a screw into the router base plate and then screwed that in to the actual aluminum and made a perfect radius and made a real nice super clean cut. Took a couple passes with a little 3/8 router bit, and then I used this 3/8 pneumatic sander for smoothing the edges. And so there you see everything is put over, everything is screwed in, fastened with stainless screws. There's again those drawers. I've since put in hydraulic pistons to hold that hatch up, as you can see. On this picture I didn't have that done yet. I ran all the electrical, LED reading lamps inside. You can fit a full-size bicycle or whatever you want with the tire off in the front. You can, there's so much storage underneath. You can literally lay in that box on the left side and push it all the way in. There's rollers underneath there. I've had 300, 400 pounds in that thing, and it just rolls out just as easy as can be. There's my little daughter having fun inside. We put her inside because we're on the road a lot, and then of course she made her way out. This is also the only Teardrop trailer that I know of that you can access the entire kitchen, both within those little compartments and in between, from the inside. So if it's raining outside and you have the cooler turned around, you can actually have access to the stuff in the cooler and through that center area or through the sides. One of those 5 or 7 gallon blue water containers with BPA free containers fit right into those little slots. And there's a spare tire there. My son and I went on a little camping trip again. And then this area is removable, and you can fold our mattress that we got on Amazon into a couch and then seat 4 people inside, kind of all around that little area with your feet in that little gap. The diamond plate is something that if you saw it, you'd be like, wow, because it took me probably 4 straight days. I used reclaimed windows on Craigslist. That window is so large that you could just go out the side of it real easy, and I wanted it to be able to be like that because I didn't want to feel claustrophobic in there. That is the end of the video. That window on the side is great. You just lay down, wake up. I have a fan inside. I have 4 reading lamps on either side. I have an exterior light on both sides so that if you hear something out the window, you can flip on the switch and look outside and see what creepy things out there. The hitch extends, or the tongue extends. It also has a little trailer jack. It's really, really a nice trailer because I set it up to be big inside, but yet not too big to be pulled, so it can't be pulled by a sedan. The side that you see on that little jog in the kitchen is actually 6 foot 9 inches on the inside from the front to the back. I'm 6'1", but I like to stretch my toes, and then not have my head bunched up against something, which I've never been in another trailer that doesn't feel that claustrophobic. This one I can stretch all the way out, put my arms over my head, and sleep very comfortably all night and not have to worry about my head getting up against the wall. So yeah, got all the locks, the keys. It's really set up nice, and it is for sale. The last cool thing about this trailer is that when you think about those drawers, the reason I put those in is I did not want to have all my stuff in the car or inside the Teardrop trailer. For camping, I mean, you could load meat if you take this on a camping trip. I've recently lifted it with off-road springs, so it's a little bit higher, so it can take some off-road beating. And the inside has a deep cycle battery, an 850 watt inverter, shore power, USBs, cell phone shelves, everything. So you can kick off your boots from the inside, set them inside down below, and then crawl in and have a nice clean place to sleep, and then be able to still put your boots on while you're inside. My wife can actually stand up inside with that little first compartment, that little part of the compartment inside the door removed. That way you don't have to sit there on your back to change if you have people outside and you don't want to be changing right in front of them. So I made this with everything I could think of without making it too large, but still make it extremely practical.